Hello, I'm Liam Sullivan.
And I'm Magda. Today we'll recap all things Wildcat athletics.
Without further ado, welcome to the Wildcat Rewind.
Ich bin Schnappi, das kleine Krokodil. Komm aus Ägypten, das liegt direkt am Nil. Zuerst lag ich hin.
On Tuesday, February 3rd, the boys basketball team took on the Nina Rockets at home, losing in a tough battle 63-69, with sophomore Carter Kufel leading the Wildcats and scoring with 23, with senior Joey Ware chipping in with 13. The Wildcats then traveled up to Kokana on February 6th, losing 86-58, with Joey Ware scoring 16 and the senior Malachi Herlihy scoring 15. The boys look to bounce back as they host the Fond du Lac Cardinals this Thursday the 12th, and then host the Kimberly Papermakers on Friday the 13th. Good luck, boys. Let's check in on how the IceHawks are doing.
On Tuesday, February 3rd, the IceHawks traveled up to Appleton for the first game of the Badgerland Conference Tournament, the Fox City Stars. The energy in the Champion Center was powerful, and the IceHawks were looking to follow up the previous strong start they had against them. The IceHawks had a fast start to the game, but were unable to pot a goal. During the second, Fox City slowly started to pull away. After the clock hit 0, the IceHawks had lost by a score of 7-0. Later in the week on Friday, the IceHawks had their second game of the tournament against a tough team, the Homestead Highlanders. They had already played them earlier in the year and lost in a heartbreaking finish. This time, they hoped to walk away with the win. It was a hard-fought game, but in the end, the IceHawks walked away with the loss 5-1. Andy Toonen was the only one to pot a goal. They couldn't bathe in their tears, though, as they had a quick turnaround and took on Appleton United the following morning. It was an exciting game from start to finish, and the IceHawks flew away with a well-deserved victory, winning by a score of 5-3. Maxton Hammerston, Andy Toonen, Zach Zimpel, Brennan Kraft, and Dayton Brisky all scored goals for the IceHawks in their impressive win. Let's head over to Evan as he eats a delicious burger with hockey star Frank Ulrich.
Welcome back to the first ever inaugural episode of Burgers with Burger, where I take athletes from West and I ask them some questions. Today we're here at McDonald's, kicking it off with the most iconic burger in fast food history, the Big Mac. And today, our first ever guest is varsity hockey assistant captain Frank Ulrich. Everyone say hello to Frank. What's up, guys? What's it like being on the first ever episode of Burgers with Burger?
It's truly an honor to be here, getting this invite for the first ever episode, and getting this series off, and coming here and trying this burger, getting interviewed. It's gonna be great.
Couldn't think of a better guy for the job here. So Frank Ulrich, first guest.
Thank you.
Got our Big Mac right here. I'm here with Frank Ulrich.
Yup.
All right. So firstly, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna do one bite here. See how we think about it.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all. I'm not a huge lettuce on burger kind of guy, but I think the dish is it's not bad at all. Not bad.
I agree.
So Frank, what's it been like with new coaching staff this year from last year?
Yeah, it's been really nice. So last year our record was not so great as we went 2-23 first round exit in the playoffs. But this year we actually upped our record. We're 9-13 at this current moment, and our coach actually won Coach of the Year for our conference. So it's actually been really nice. He's helping us a lot.
Nice, Frank. That's great to hear. Frank, that your coach was Badgerland Conference Coach of the Year. But so this is gonna roll into our next question here of being one of the younger guys, being a sophomore on the team. What was it like to be chosen as an assistant captain this year?
Yeah, it's great. So two of our captains are seniors, and it's great that next year I can step up into that role and be an upperclassman and help the underclassmen develop themselves, which is something that they've helped me with.
I gotta say, Frank, it was really cool sitting at home. I saw the Instagram post and seeing you with that A on your chest. I thought that was pretty cool to see. So, since it's been an improvement from last year, I gotta say, what's been the most memorable part of the year so far?
If I had to choose one moment, I'd probably say when we beat Fond du Lac, because they were ranked much higher than us. It's expected to be a blowout, but we came out hot. Our goalie played amazing, and we actually upset them and beat them for the first time in around 13 years. That was just a great moment to see.
That was a really cool moment for me to be a part of too, because I got the call from you shortly after the win. I didn't believe it at first, but it was really cool to see. Really cool to hear you guys beat Fondy 2-1. First time in 13 years. So I thought that was pretty awesome to hear. So Frank, bounce back from freshman season to this year, the improvement in the team. What do you think the future for the Ice Hawks hockey team holds?
I think it could be very great, especially with our new coaching staff. They can definitely develop the underclassmen, and in next year, a year or two, we could be very great, and we could actually go above and beyond of what we have normally been associated with.
Nice. Yep. Maybe possibly make an entrance. Maybe come back. Maybe brother Isaac, who's behind the camera, maybe he comes up.
True.
We got Bash Bros here, so who knows? Next year could be incredibly fun. A big stepping stone for us.
Heck yeah.
Another question here, Frank. How do you feel that you've developed from freshman to sophomore year?
I think I took a large jump. I grew a couple inches, got a little bit bigger, and freshman year I was playing forward, which is like not my position. But this year I'm playing defense, which is more I'm comfortable with, and I'm interested with the bigger role, being on power plays, penalty kills, anything that associate that big time play. I'm usually out there. So I think I took a large jump from freshman year.
No, I would completely agree with you. Being able to play with you last year, and then being able to just watch you from the stands this year, I thought it's been really cool. I thought you made a huge jump. Obviously, that jump in height and weight, but also your skill, and your confidence too. Like it's been laying the wood a few times this year, so that's been really cool to see. And I think that just your confidence, like you've definitely developed, and I'm excited to see what you do in the future with that.
Yep.
Now, last question here, Frank. How are you going to carry the energy from the successful high school season into the spring hockey season?
I'm going to keep my confidence, and I'm going to try to keep my development going, and I'm going to try to play some spring hockey up with the Fox River Phoenix. I'm going to try out for the team, and I think that will immensely help my skill and playing with some better kids and just like overall a new team getting better.
Yeah, no, definitely. Phoenix, I've done it for the past couple of years. It's huge fun. Love the kids on there, but I think you being able to come up, make the team. I think that would be just kind of huge morale blow up for the team because love getting to see new guys, and I think you're just gonna have a great time doing it as well. All right. What do you think of being on the first ever episode of Wildcat?
It was great. Good interview, good questions, and the burger was good too.
Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the experience here. So, McDonald's, Big Mac, on a rating from 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I'd say a solid 6 or 7. I also have to go with a solid 6-7 as well. So, fans, thank you for being here today. And Burgers with Burger, first episode done. Burger time out.
Scrumptious boys! On Saturday, February 7th, the boys swim team took the fast lane down to Fond du Lac for the FVA conference meet, where they had some amazing swims with multiple podium finishes, including Evan Booms taking third in the 100 fly, Carter Crow taking third in the 100 breaststroke, and the relay of Sam Robley, Carter Crow, and Caleb Bergen, and Evan Booms taking second in the 200 free relay, and third in the 400 free relay. On top of that, a special congratulations to Caleb Bergen for breaking the school record in the 200 individual medley held previously in 2015 by Jacob Slezak. The boys ended up taking third overall and look forward to sectionals on Saturday, February 14th at Neenah. Let's swim over to IT as we got to build an interview with swimmer Caleb Bergen.
Welcome to Building with Belky. Who do we have here?
Caleb Bergen.
All right, Caleb. We're going to be building some Legos as I interview you about your swimming career. You want?
Take the police car.
Cool. Looks like I got the hot rod. So Caleb, who's been your biggest supporter throughout your swimming journey?
I would say one of my parents, but it's usually been my mom that has always brought me to practice since I was probably 5 years old. So,
what would a typical swimming practice look like for you?
Well, we usually start with some sort of dynamic warm-up, whether that's walk around the pool doing some stretches. My favorite is just getting straight in the water to get the worst part over, which is getting cold water. We start with a warm-up, then we really get into our main set, get down to business, get the work done, and then that's what I really like about West practices. We can start with some fun stuff after that.
What would be some of those fun things like Marco Polo?
As a tradition at West, we after we win a meet, so usually Wednesday practices, we have water polo Wednesday, and that is definitely a crowd favorite on the team. Or we play some in-water basketball. That one's fun too.
Sounds good. What motivates you? Because swimming is a very, it's a sport that some people might not think about as very physical, but it seems like a very physical sport. What are some things that motivate you, and like when your results aren't showing up right away?
Well, I kind of think of it like when I am not getting the results I'm looking to get. I kind of think back to where I started when I was just, a normal kid swimming at the Alma pool or Pollock pool, that I really didn't know anything, but I kind of look back and see how far I've come and how much improvement I've made in the past years. And it's not the end of the world when I am a second off of a career best time when I've dropped a minute of time in that event to get where I am.
What is one thing about swimming that people outside of the sport would never believe?
That's a tough question. I think that if it's just any random person, like a football player like yourself, I've seen this in years past, they come into swim practice and they think that it's going to be pretty easy or it's not really going to compare to their conditioning. But it's a lot tougher than people seem. They work a lot of muscles that you don't typically work just working out in the gym or on the field.
Obviously, you guys have had an amazing season so far, undefeated on the season, is that correct?
We lost one actually, but we were undefeated for the first 4 meets.
I heard that one loss was a little bit of a scandal. What do you think about that?
Well, that depends on who you ask. If you ask me, they had a diver that failed 3 of their dives and they were supposed to have 4 successful ones, which was 6 points. We lost by a margin of 2. So it's definitely controversial, but
Still an amazing part of your season.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are with finals and state and everything come up. How do you prepare for that?
So some of the guys are going to be they're going to be tapering because it's for some people the last meet of the season this weekend. But I'm going to be continuing my normal practice schedule, and then next week I will start to taper in sectionals, just so we get those fastest times.
What exactly is tapering? Just for those that don't know.
So we're just gonna this week we're gonna increase our workload, and then next week we're gonna slowly taper off, doing less and less yards and less intensity.
How does your body completely just handle all the physical activities in swim?
Well, it's definitely kind of taxing on your body, on your joints, but it burns a lot of calories, so I'm definitely eating a lot of food, trying to carb load sometimes. But once you get kind of consistent swimming every day for years on end, your body kind of gets used to it, just like any other sport.
All right, so you say you're carb loading. What is the go-to thing you're going to at Quick Trip?
At Quick Trip,
If you had to pick out 3 things, drinks, candy, anything, what are you going to?
I'm not really an energy drink guy, so I usually go for like a Body Armor or a Gatorade. And then depending on the time of the day, for breakfast I usually hit the waffle, egg and cheese, and sausage sandwich. Or if it's like middle of the day, I usually hit some wings or this crispy chicken sandwich. And I think that's usually about it.
That's all I got for you.
All right.
This is Building with Belkey. I'm IT.
This is Caleb.
Thank you for your time.
On Tuesday, February 3rd, the Lady Wildcats played the Neenah Rockets and put up a great fight, but lost 58-48. 3 days later, on Friday, February 6th, the Lady Wildcats secured a gritty 45-43 victory over the Kaukauna Galloping Ghost. Sophomore Cameron Stoffaker powered the offense with a game-high 21 points and grabbed 8 rebounds, while junior Samantha Pansky added 9 points. The Wildcats were anchored by sophomore Kinsley Nelson, who led the team with 5 assists and 9 rebounds. On the 9th of February, they played Fond du Lac Cardinals, and sophomore Cameron Stoffaker led with 12 points and 8 rebounds. Senior Colleen Fitzpatrick and junior Samantha Pansky followed with 10 points. Sophomore Kinsley Nelson tallied 4 assists and had 6 rebounds. Sophomore Maddie Bellin followed with 3 assists. Now with the ladies being over 500 on the season, they're in a great spot to get hot and sneak into the offseason late into the year. Looking further into the week, the girls will have yet another tough battle against Hortonville on Tuesday, February 10th, as they seek to squeeze out a win in what's set to be an absolute brawl in their senior night game. Win or lose, the ladies will have to keep their fighting spirits, as just 3 days later on Friday, February 13th, they'll be traveling to the number 5th ranked Kimberly and have yet another heated dogfight in what could shake some things up on the leaderboard. With the squeak of the sneakers, let's bounce to the mat and tie up some wrestling news.
For the Wildcats wrestling squad, they traveled up to Appleton North on Saturday, February 7th for the FBA Conference Tournament. After a long, hard-fought day, the Wildcats ended up taking 5th, with 7 Wildcats reaching the podium. Juan Heredia, Nathan Hernandez, and Blake Julian all took 5th. Iskander Coco, Colton Suris, and Xavier Wang took 4th, and Preston Snyder ended up taking 2nd. The Wildcats will head down to Fond du Lac on February 14th for sectionals, as their season quickly approaches its end. And the Oshkosh West wrestlers battle for their ticket to the Kohl Center for the state tournament. Good luck, Wildcats.
That'll do it for us here at the Wildcat Rewind. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. And as I always like to say, the bus is moving forward, not north. And go Wildcats!